Hello, men. My name is VJR Stewart. Hopefully you watched some of my other videos and know who I am. But if you don't, there's a quick introduction. And I am the founder and creator of the Ways of the Caveman. And basically the Ways of a Caveman is a series of videos which you can find on YouTube. You can find them on Patreon. Um, you can probably find more on Patreon. A few of them are on LinkedIn if they're short enough, or on Facebook. But for sure, you can find them on Patreon. You can find most of them on YouTube. And the Ways of the Caveman is about going back to your roots when men were men, when you had to go out and do a couple of things. You had to go out and find, you had a secure place for you and your family, if you had one. You had to go out and secure food, so you had to hunt, you had to be a provider. And you had to protect your cave, your family, your food against other cavemen and other animals who want to take what you have. So you had to provide, you had to protect, and you had to secure. That was your job. At a basic level, that was your job. You didn't have to worry about the Me Too movement. You didn't have to worry about the feminist movement. You didn't have to be worried about being woke. There was no one telling you that your masculinity was toxic. No, those were simpler days. Those were the days where men were men. You knew what you had to do. And you didn't need me or anyone else to tell you. God gave you these instincts on what to do. They were built into you. And so, but now life has gotten a little more complicated. We have social movements out there that tell you that your masculinity is toxic. You need to be more sensitive. You need to be more like the women. You need to be more emotional. And I'm telling you that for the men out here to follow this advice, you know who you are. Basically we call them betas. I know there are about 6 or 7 different categories that the social psychologists and people, social scientists will use for personality types, especially for men. But for me, it comes down to 3 categories. They're alpha males, like myself. They're betas, weak, feckless guys. And then there are gammas. And the gammas are really just irresponsible, but they're fun. They're fun to be around. Party, good time, they're there for you. Generally, the sex is good if you date a guy who's a gamma, but he's not the kind of guy you want to have children with. He's not a good father. He's not a good leader. He's not very responsible. Betas, well, betas will work. They're responsible. They pay their bills. They do the right thing, what they think is the right thing. But they're no fun. They're very boring. They're the safe guys that you marry out of college. And then there are the alphas. These are the guys that the woke society tells you to watch out for. These are the guys that the woke society would tell you that their masculinity is toxic. These are the guys that the now organization, the feminist movement, will warn you against. Guys like me. Do you know how many times I've been called a caveman, Neanderthal? Oh, Jimmy, your thinking is just so outdated. And I wear my caveman tag with pride. And in fact, I wear I have so much pride in it that I started this entire series, The Ways of the Caveman. Because we need to go back to those days of doing those basic things. If you do those basic things that God has called on you to do, He gave you a body where you're physically stronger than women. Why? For a reason. Because God intended for you to use that body to work. If it was simply about reproduction, then He could have given you reproductive organs, just like male and female, and gave you the same makeup, physical makeup, as women. But God didn't do that. The bodies between men and women are very different. Yours is made for work. Yours is made for protecting. Yours is made for providing. God made you a little more analytical than women. Women are a little more emotional than men. And I don't think it's unreasonable for me to say that. I mean, I know there's overlap. Women can reason just as well as men, and men can be just as emotional as women. But for the most part, men are a little more logical than women, and women are a little more emotional than men. And so the starting point for me is help men return back to a day when they were a caveman. Put you back on the foundation of where you need to be because God made you this way. And there's nothing wrong. Nothing is wrong with you being a man. Your masculinity is not toxic. If you want to provide for your family, you want to protect your family, you're willing to lay your life down doing these things, then you are exactly what God intended for you to be. And anyone who tells you differently is absolutely wrong. Send them my way. Tell them to come talk to me. And I'll have that debate for you. Now, the next thing is, once you embrace the ways of the caveman and get back to your core fundamentals, the next thing we could talk about is your walk towards becoming a man God. And there are people out there that say, oh my God, JR, I can't believe you're a man God. Shh. Don't say, that's blasphemy. And my response is, how's that blasphemy? When Jesus Christ professed that he's the Son of God, there were those who said, we're going to take up stones to stone you. That was blasphemy. And his response was, what miracles have I performed that was blasphemy? And then the crowd would respond, well, your works, your miracles have been great. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you claiming to be the Son of God, the Son of Man. And so Jesus reminded them that Psalms 82, the Testaments, the Old Testaments, well, at that time it was just the Testaments, Scripture. And you go look this up too, Psalm 82, where God says that we're all children of God. That we're all gods. You don't believe me? Go look it up. This is what Jesus cited to the crowd. To go look it up. The scriptures say that we're all gods. And that we're all children of God. Not just children of God, but we're all gods. And so this is part of when God made you in his image, man. It wasn't the physical image of God. It was the essence of God. And you're supposed to walk towards trying to be that. Walk towards trying to be a man God. That was intended for you also. So just on a evolution fundamental level, adopt the ways of the caveman. If you want to take some spiritual journey, higher level, then yes, that's fine. I'm here for you. Because your evolution, your walk is become a man God. And I'm here to tell you how to become that. Your goal, what you're supposed to be, is you're supposed to energize. You're supposed to have purpose in life. Let me let you know a little secret. For all you betas out there who think I'm wrong. Oh, Jimmy, you're just a caveman. You're talking like that. The women are going to be upset with you. Let them be upset. Who cares? I'll let you know a little secret, man. Once I learned to be a caveman, guess what? I'm not a GQ guy. I don't consider myself all that handsome. I don't have the best wardrobe. But once I learned how to become the kind of guy that focused on me being a man, I had no problem dating. Getting women, phone numbers, going out on dates, child's play. I dated one girl in high school. Her name was Kara. I dated one girl in college for the most part, serious dating. Her name was Simone. She was my college sweetheart. Soulmate. We got married out of college. We were divorced 7 years later. Here's the harsh reality. It's not just me. Because I was a beta back then. And most betas are going to fall into two categories. 65% of them are divorced within 7 years. Not by their choice. No, by their wife's choice. Because women do not like betas. They marry betas. They have children for betas. Because you're safe. You're responsible. But they don't like you. They really don't like you. 65% are going to divorce you within 7 years. The other 35%, well, they stick the marriage. They stay within the marriage. They stick it out. But they're not happy. And you women know who you are. You're stuck in marriages that you're not happy. You always, getting on your man's ass. You always got something negative to say. Never anything good, no matter what he does. Because every time you see him, every day you wake up, every time you walk through that door, or he walks through the door, you're just reminded of the fact that you're stuck in a marriage with someone that you don't like. And you do it because you have a home, you have children, you tell yourself that somehow you sacrificing for others is a virtue, when really it's just a cop-out. And the men kind of sense that there's something not quite right. One of the ways you can tell is by your love life. Your love life is dropped way off a cliff. And every time you try to initiate making love to your woman, there's an excuse, there's he and there's hawing, there's no participation, or very little participation. Oh, okay, I'll just lay there until you get it over with. She's not really into it because she's not into you. And you betas out there, you know who you are. And so I'm offering to help you change that. It's not too late. For those of you who think it's too late, it's not. It wasn't too late for me. I was 30 years old when I got a divorce from my wife. I had no game. I had no rap. I didn't know. I only dated a few women. I dated one woman and married her out of college. And now I'm faced with going back out in the world trying to find another. What do I do? What do I say? Unfortunately, I had to learn how to be a bad guy. And you'd be surprised. Go out there and check some of the surveys. When women are asked, would you rather have a bad guy or a nice guy? And what they're really asking, bad guy, gamma, or beta, nice guy. 85% of them pick the bad guy. 85% pick the bad guy. And this is what you're dealing with, man. You think that you're a nice guy because you don't hit on women, you don't curse, no profanity. You try to be respectful, you're nice. We'll cuddle, we'll watch a movie if you want to and chill. I give you what you want. I do my best to try to please you, bend over backwards to try to please you. Whatever I think is going to make you happy, I'll do it. And in the end, what do you get? You get resentment. You get a woman who doesn't truly like you. She may love you. What she really saying is, I love what you bring to my life. Going to work every day, paying the bills. I love those things. I don't love you as a person because I don't like you as a person. And so what do you do, guys? What do you do about that? And that's where the becoming a man God becomes important. If this is your life. And by becoming a man God, you learn to energize those around you, to include your wife. In fact, when you become a man God, not only does she like you, but she loves you again. The way she used to look up to you, have a little spark in her eyes when you guys first started dating, yeah, she'll get that again. Your sex life will return. Your love life will return. You'll find that when she's energized, she's far more into it now than she ever was before. Your children will have a little more direction in their life. Rather than just send your kids off to school and just let the school deal with them or educate them. a man God kind of oversees that process. And what I'm really talking about, what it boils down to, is the difference between a beta and a caveman is obvious. Women would prefer the caveman. I don't care what they say about toxic masculinity. That's just stuff they're regurgitating that they've heard from other women who don't have a clue. But I can tell you that when I went from being a nice guy to a caveman, a lot of the women that called me caveman would go out with me, would secretly give me their phone numbers, want to talk to me, because they were drawn to it. That's how women are. They're security conscious. And for the man that can provide that security, financially, physically, that energizes them, believe it or not. And so this is where I am right now. This is what the Ways of the Caveman is about. It's about getting you on the foundation first and then helping you walk towards a godly image, becoming a man God. Because when you become a man God, guys, your life is going to change and you'll never go back. You'll exude so much power and energy. You stop worrying about the small petty stuff. You stop being these emotional creatures that they've turned you into. I can't tell you how many men who started this program were just as emotional, if not more, than their spouses. Hurt feelings. Gia, she doesn't appreciate me. Okay. Feelings hurt. I mean, we're talking tears. Let me get you something to wipe your eyes with. Blow your nose. I understand. It hurts. But it doesn't have to hurt. Man, the very things you're dealing with, all this pain, it's not for you. I'm not telling you just ignore your feelings. No, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that there's a way to manage all of this. She's hurting you because she's hurt. You're sitting around waiting for her to heal you. And guess what? Deep down, she's waiting for you to heal her. So who's going to heal whom first? Well, as the leader of the household, you need to step up first. So you need to put your pain aside. You need to learn how to forgive. Whatever she's done, you need to understand that whatever she's done, she did because she's in pain. And when people are in pain, misery loves company. And if you can't heal her, then what good are you to her? Really? If you can't heal her and make her into the woman she needs to be, so she can be your ride or die, so she can be your great asset. If you can't do that, if you can't help make her whole, then you can't be a man God. And what good are you to her? Don't tell me how great you are. You're a good guy and how it's all her fault. I'm not the one to tell that story to. Go tell it to another beta. I'm here to tell you it's time to turn things around. It's time for you to step your game up and become a man God. To energize your children, energize your wife. Make her love you even when you don't love yourself. Your children will look up to you and value you because you provide direction in their life. You'll wake up every single day with purpose in your life when you understand what that purpose is. It's not to be a beta. It's not to listen to these folks out here telling you how to be a man. Because I've yet to hear anyone explain it properly, especially when it comes from the feminist movement, this woke movement, white liberal Democrats. I hate to have my politics spill over, but I am a far right-wing conservative. And so the Ways of the Caveman, if you're interested, watch some of my videos. Give me a like button on my videos. That help my numbers. I have a group of people led by a guy named Garrett. Him and his little band of bandits. They do everything possible to shut my videos down. They complain on YouTube all the time, which is why I moved to Patreon. Somehow it doesn't seem to, their complaints don't seem to work on Patreon. So because all the videos are there, I never have to worry about them being taken down. So I'm asking you to support me on Patreon. We have a basic subscription, $5 a month. And if you can do that, that will help me out immensely. Help me keep me going. But you can also catch the videos on YouTube. You can follow me on the LinkedIn page, Facebook. We upload to Twitter also, I believe. We may start uploading videos to Twitch, which I'm not that familiar with, but I have another podcast on Wednesdays called Black Men Speak that we upload to Twitch, one of my platforms, like 5 different platforms we upload to. So I may start uploading videos to Twitch also, so you can support me. But any support you can provide, if you're serious about the videos, will help you become. You can learn the ways of the caveman from the videos. To become a man god, to go beyond the pettiness, get past all the hurt and pain that you're dealing with as a beta. If you want to grow and learn how to become an alpha male, a powerful alpha male, competent, at the top of the hierarchy, stop being a follower. Even among other men will recognize you when you become an alpha male and a man god. You're the kind of person they want to be around. You're the person they want to follow, that they're drawn to. People are drawn to you. That's just the way it is when you're a man god. If that's what you want in life, then I will personally coach you and work with you. I have a fee. It's $1,000 a year. Small price. We're talking $20 a week for 50 weeks. One-on-one coaching, so it's safe. We can practice and rehearse. I'll take the time to work with you and to help you get past your pain. Because I understand also that right now you're an emotional creature and that you're hurt. You have pains. And so we can't talk about anything else or deal with anything else until we deal with that. I need to get you out of this pain mode. You have to learn the power of being able to say, okay, sure, no problem. You got to learn how to keep your word. So when your wife asks you to do something, just do it. Stop disappointing her and don't do it. And now she comes back, she's angry, she's fussing, she's mad. She's getting on your case now. And you don't understand every time you do this, all you're doing is undermining your confidence. When you give your word has to mean something. There was a time we used to say, my word's my bond. Well, what happened to that? Real men understand that my word's my bond. When I give you my word, it has to mean something. It has to mean something to your children. It has to mean something to your wife. It has to mean something to everyone around you. That they know they can count, they can trust on you, and trust you. But in order for your word to be your bond, you have to be confident in yourself. You got to be sure about who you are and what you are. You got to understand what your purpose is. You can't be walking around emotionally wounded. Well, GR, she doesn't appreciate me. I bought her some flowers and she barely even said thank you. Or she gave me a sarcastic look. So what? Okay. When I'm going to tell you one story and I'm going to wrap this up and conclude. Because 30 minutes is my limit and I'm coming up on 24 minutes now. I used to go back and forth with my wife. A battling about who was right. And we would go back and forth about some silly things, very mundane, not even worth talking about. But that was us. She wants to be right, I want to be right. And in the end, looking back on it, the things we were going back and forth over wasn't worth our hill of beans, wasn't worth the dirt on our shoes. But being right was very important. Now, we don't go back and forth over silly stuff. We don't go back and forth, period. We talk to each other, we share information. And you know why? Because I understood that by me going back and forth, that it meant one of us had to win, one of us had to lose. And if we can't both win, then it becomes a lose for the relationship. She'd walk around feeling happy when I'm down. I'd walk around feeling happy and she's down. Really, in the end, what good is that? What have we, either one of us really accomplished? Nothing. All we did was damage the relationship. I had to learn to simply say, okay. I had to figure out that it's okay for people to be wrong. If my wife would say something and that was wrong, oh, it was on. We're going to go back and forth over this. I got to show you how wrong you are. Now, my wife is still kind of in that mindset. Let me misuse a word, pronounce it incorrectly, or misstate a fact. I'm a self-professed know-it-all. So I've been getting these challenges all my life. And so it really bothers me when it comes from my wife sometimes. But it's okay. Because, by changing my perspective on how I looked at things, I do I work every single day to energize my wife. I tell her how great she is. I tell her how beautiful she is, how valuable she is. Every day. Every day I say thank you for the things that she do to make my house, my kingdom, work. She washed the dishes, she vacuumed the carpet, she cleaned the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All the time. As a result, she says thank you now. She comes home and tells me how much she appreciates me maintaining the house and going out and work and being a good provider. She didn't say that when we were going back and forth. She now has healthy appreciation for me. There's nothing she wouldn't do for me. She has truly become my ride or die. Whatever I want, whatever she can do to make me happy, she'll do it. Gladly. No resistance. There's no fight, no frowning about it. That's the point that I want for you. And I'm telling you, you can get there. But you're not going to get there being an emotional creature. I had to go through a forgiveness period with my wife. I had to apologize constantly. And it wasn't just lip service. I meant it. So for the things that I've done that have hurt you, I'm sorry. I'll do better. For the pains that you have that were caused by other men, I'm sorry that happened to you. But I'm not going to add to that pain by doing the same dumb, silly stuff they did. I'm not going to be that man. I'm going to be the man that you want to be with. I don't have to worry about my wife cheating on me, going out here being attracted to some other guy. Because no one's going to energize her the way I do. This is what the Bible talks about when he says, in Peter, I think either 2 or 3, when he's defining what love is. It's not keeping score. Well, we were keeping score. Someone had to win, someone to lose. So we were keeping score. But the love of a man should wash his woman clean, where the blemishes become clear, the wrinkles become straight, and she becomes a perfect creation for you. Either that process works or it don't work. Either the Bible's telling you the truth or the Bible's lying to you. I'm here to tell you that it's telling the truth. And not just the Bible, but the Quran, the Torah, most of your religious documents, all kind of outline the same process. Now I read the Emerald Tablets. I study a lot of Stoic philosophy, ancient philosophies. I do read the works of Buddha, Confucius, Epictetus, Marcus of Aurelius. I study these guys, and they're pretty much all saying the same thing. So they all can't be lying. And a lot of this is incorporated into the Bible also. So I know I'm on the right track, and I'd like to help you get on the right track. So give me a call. Go to my website, thejrstewart.com. That's thejrstewart.com. Or you can find me on YouTube. And if you want to, please reach out and support me on Patreon. It's called The Ways of the Caveman. So just go to Patreon and then type in The Ways of the Caveman. You'll find me. So thank you very much. I'm coming up on my 30 minutes, so this is about the time I need to say goodbye. I want to say I appreciate you watching the video, any support that you can provide, and I'm there for you when you're ready to step your game up, become a real man, the man that God intended you to be. Then reach out to me and I'll do whatever I can to help you. Thanks again, and take care. Bye.